I was originally diagnosed in March of 2013. I was 34 at the time. I actually discovered my own tumor one day shopping for bras. I ended up then going to my family doctor and getting checked out. She ended up sending me then to have a mammogram done. So on March 19th, I went to get my mammogram done. At that point, they then decided to do an ultrasound and a biopsy all on the same day. At that point, it was discovered that the tumors were cancerous. So right away at that point, I met with my doctor. His name is Dr. Hayter. And we started a plan for my treatment. In the very beginning, I did 4 rounds of chemo. Each round was 4 weeks long, so about 4 months. At that point, I did 2 different drugs. It worked pretty good. It shrunk all of my tumors. And then I ended up having, in August of 2013, a double mastectomy. They discovered that at that point, it was not just in the breast, but it had traveled to my lymph nodes. And they removed 15 of my lymph nodes on the left side. So after that, then they did 30 rounds of radiation, which radiation is every day, Monday through Friday. Doesn't take very long, about 15 minutes. It does make you tired, but it was not actually that bad. After I did my radiation, they did my scans and everything looked very good. But because my cancer was estrogen based, we had my ovaries removed in January of 2014. Everything looked good. I was just on a maintenance drug for a while. I then had some scans done in April and was discovered that it had traveled to my ribs. We saw it was just one spot, so we did radiation on it and thought that that was it. Unfortunately, at that point, we then discovered that it had traveled to my hips and parts of my femurs, both my left and my right. So I had radiation again, done on both hips, and then we started chemo over that summer of 2014. The chemo didn't work very well. I got sick. I ended up in the hospital a couple times. So we had changed to quite a few different rounds of chemo. I think over the last 2 years, we've done 4 or 5 different kinds. Some worked, some didn't. I got mixed results. It would shrink the older tumors, but then new ones would show up. So it's really hard to see how well they were actually working. Then in 2015, in August, we found that the new tumors in my liver and on the outside of my lungs. We tried another chemo, but again, same thing. Different results. Some were good, some were bad, so it was really hard to tell. I went for a second opinion down at Northwestern. They said at that point that they agreed with the treatment plan that my doctor had been doing and wouldn't recommend anything else. So we just continued doing chemo treatments. Went back down to Northwestern this past March to see if I qualified for any clinical trials that were available. Unfortunately, I am what they call ER positive, and they did not. So we started another chemo, this past one. It's one that is very difficult. It's over 3 weeks, makes you very tired, makes you very sick. But hopefully this one is working. But we also found in the course of these 3 years, we did another biopsy on my tumors in my legs and found that the molecular structure of my tumors had changed, and I am now what they call triple negative, which means that I have a lot more options open to me when it comes to clinical trials. So at this point, we are doing a chemo called cisplatin and navalbine, and If those work, great, we will continue them. If not, I will hopefully go onto a clinical trial that will be trying the immune therapies that are out there, and hopefully that will give us the results we are looking for. So that is what I've done so far. Thank you.